Aloha, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Political Podcast. Well, this is where we tackle the biggest questions in U.S. politics with a dash of charm and a whole heap of debate. I'm your host, Huckleberry Hank, and today we're diving into a debate hotter than a chili cook-off on a hot summer's day. Should the national government or the state government decide on gun control? Joining me are the Federalists,
A. Riddy,
and the state.
Foghorn McConnell.
Now, before we get into that, how you guys doing? How's your day?
I'm pretty good. Just some traffic on the way here, but you get that a lot in this big.
Nice day, kind of sunny. How about you?
Oh, it's been a good day. It's nice seeing your guys' faces around.
Yeah.
I woke up late today, but I enjoyed the extra sleep,
You catch up on that new show, the
Oh,
You caught up on the new Punch Bowl?
ooh.
I heard some spicy things.
Spicy things going on right now. Woo! We'll cover that next episode, though.
Oh man, I wish I could talk about this with you guys, but I have yet to read it.
Looks like you're failing that test, failing that Punch Bowl quiz.
Last two episodes, we talked about revolution and signing the Constitution, making it better. Yep. Today we're talking about who's got the powers to decide.
Go America.
So
Go Blitz.
why don't we dive in? All right?
All right.
Enough stalling. Now, let me give you all a bit of history. So, gun control laws in the U.S. have always been a tug of war between federal and state government. The Second Amendment of our Constitution protects the rights to bear arms, but the question remains, who gets to say who gets to bear them? Some folks, like A. Riddy here, say it should be the national government, citing consistency across states. Others, like Foghorn, argue that the states know their people better and should make those decisions. Let's dig in. All right, A. Riddy, I reckon you're up first. Why should the national government have the power to decide on gun control?
Honestly, the national government should be the one to regulate gun control because of what's clearly outlined in the Constitution. Article 6, the Supremacy Clause, ensures that federal law is the supreme law of the land. This guarantees consistency. If each state is making its own rules, we'll have a chaotic patchwork of laws. What works in one state could be dangerous in another. Take the Commerce Clause in Article 1, Section 8. Guns cross state lines, and only the federal government has the authority to regulate interstate commerce. How can states manage something that naturally goes beyond their borders?
That's a good point. How are you going to respond to that, Foghorn?
Well, bless your heart, Avery. It's real cute how you actually think you know what you're talking about. But you're just parroting that federalist nonsense they teach you in those fancy schools of yours, ain't ya? You ever actually read the 10th Amendment, or were you too busy daydreaming about Washington telling everybody how to live their lives?
What?
It clearly states that the powers not delegated to the United States big government by the Constitution are reserved solely for the states and the states alone. And can you guess what falls into that category? Well, considering it's you ain't ready, I better spell it out for you. Gun control falls directly in that camp. Ain't it obvious what works in Texas surely ain't going to work in Vermont? And that each state ought to have the same right to tailor its own laws to its own culture, own people, and its own needs. Well, but sure, let's trust the same government who can't figure out how to deliver mail on time to decide who gets to own a gun. Genius move, really, real smart.
Okay.
Looks like we're in for a heated one, ladies and gentlemen. Now, A. Riddy, Foghorn is making a point about the 10th Amendment. How do you respond to that?
The 10th Amendment is a good one, no doubt. But the founders also knew that there were some powers only a central government should handle. And when it comes to a matter as serious as public safety, gun violence, cross-state trafficking, the federal government must step in. Look at how do you say that?
McCulloch. No, McCulloch. McCulloch versus Maryland.
Look at McCulloch versus Maryland, when the court said that the national government has powers beyond what's explicitly written in the Constitution. Like regulating firearms for the sake of public safety, if states have different laws, it will be harder to enforce safety regulations nationwide.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, public safety, huh? That's what you're going with? Well, ain't you just a regular Einstein? How about clearing on something since apparently common sense ain't your strong suit? The Second Amendment wasn't written so that some pencil pushers in D.C. could play dress up with our rights.
Relax now, let's relax.
It's about local defense, like the militia system back in the day, supported by the Second Amendment, the kind of thing real men handled. Plus, Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution makes it crystal clear that states have the right to defend themselves. So why shouldn't they regulate who has firearms? But I wouldn't expect you to understand that, since you seem to think every problem gets solved by more government. Here's a tip. Next time you want to go talking about big safety, try not to sound so stupid.
States may know their local issues
All
better.
right, ladies
but
and
they don't-
gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna before we get into this, because we need to relax. We're gonna hear a word from our sponsor. When your racing thoughts keep you up at night, it's tough to let go and get the rest you need. Better Sleep can help. You might have heard of white noise or brown noise, but there's a whole rainbow of color noises that can help you calm your mind. Use Alright, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Riddy, you have the floor.
As I was saying, states might know their local issues better, but they don't have the resources or jurisdiction to handle threats that cross state lines. Look at the rise in gun violence, and tell me that doesn't require a nationwide response. The federal government can enforce background checks across all states. One state's lax laws can undermine another stricter ones. It's just common sense. Like federal highway regulations, we need consistency for safety.
I like that. I do like that.
Consistency? Oh, now we're talking about consistency. Looky here. I know you like to think real hard about these things, but how dumb can you be to think federal consistency is a good thing? You want to make every state as incompetent as DC? That's rich, Ricky, even from you. Do you even know how big time they box things up over there? Ricky here is acting like states can't handle their own business. But the Second Amendment gives us the right to bear arms, and it ain't Uncle Sam's job to decide how every community interprets that. If you're saying we should have a one-size-fits-all gun control, you're ignoring the beauty of federalism, the very system that lets states be the laboratories of democracy. Let me guess. You think the folks who've never left their cushy offices in D.C. know more about the people who actually live out here in the real world. You sound more like a puppet than a thinker. You want the federal government to hold your hand while you cross the street too?
Don't you understand that you need a federal government to even function as a state and as a nation?
Well, folks, seems like we're just about to ready to wrap this one up.
I'm gone. I'm done with this podcast. Yeah. I'm done with this podcast. Get out of here. Get out of here. Hey! I never want to see you again.
And Foghorn McCrocker is alright. This is my podcast, so watch your mouth. And Foghorn McCrocker insisting states know best and should decide for themselves. It's clear that this is a tough issue. Oh, okay. Now what?
Hey.
No, I finished it. Now you just gone.
Yeah, finish your thing.
And Foghorn McCrocker insisting states know best and should decide for themselves. It's clear that this is a tough issue, one rooted in the Constitution and what it means to us today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's just me. Both of my co-hosts left me, so I'm just gonna wrap this one up now. You heard from both sides, so you tell me what you think, all right? At the end of the day, the question still stands. Do we trust the national government to protect us with one set of laws, or do we let the states handle it their own way? Well, listeners, that's up for you to decide. I'm Huckleberry Hank, and this has been the Political Pod. Wrong, calm down. Stay hard, stay smart, stay safe, and keep those discussions rolling. Hank out. Huckleberry Hank out.
You already said it.